two cops team up in an unlikely partnership to take down a very big scandal with a multi-millionaire. These two dudes are unlike any other team you ever seen. You got the mild-mannered Will Ferrell and the hot-tempered Mark Wahlberg. In a movie that is star-studded with a bunch of celebrities. The other guys. Reviewing this movie today. Let's go ahead and get after it. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka, and what is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade A through F. Plus and minuses do count. If there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comments section below and I'll try to get to it as quickly as I can. Also, I have a Patreon. On this Patreon, you get extra content such as trailer review, trailer reactions. You get first come, first serve when it comes to asking for movie requests. We also get movie releases before they hit YouTube and Facebook. So that's all things you get on that Patreon. Now, let's get to today's movie review, and that is The Other Guys from the year 2010. First thoughts. I haven't seen this movie in about a few months. It's one of my favorite comedy movies. Like, I think Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg play off each other so well. They're hilarious in this movie. And when I first saw this movie, I saw it in theaters. And when I saw it in theaters, I was dying laughing at certain scenes because stuff just didn't make sense. Like, as it makes sense as in like, it makes sense with the storyline, but it didn't make sense as in like what was going on, like why that happened. For example, The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in this movie. And there's a scene, which is one of my favorite scenes of the movie, where they aim for the bushes, as they call it, and they jump off a 20-foot building, 20-foot stories, and just plop. There's no bushes, there's nothing that they run off and bounce off of and keep going. It just complete plop, and they just die. And you're like, what, why? Or there's certain scenes where characters are talking and saying something. For example, Michael Keaton's in this movie, and Keaton will say something, and you look up and pan to Mark Wahlberg, and he looks up, makes a face like, did he just say that? And then it goes back to Keaton and what he's saying. So it's just little funny stuff like that where the director of the movie, they will pan to certain characters and certain faces and you see their reactions. I'm not sure that was intentional, but I think it's hilarious. Like, there's a scene where Kylie Minogue is brought up into this movie, who is Cammy in the movie Street Fighter. I messed her name up in that review, but she's in the movie Street Fighter. She's actually a pretty big celebrity in Australia. She's a pretty big singer. Like, she's considered the queen of pop over there, so I didn't know that. But anyway, there's an Australian guy in this movie who put out Ray Stevenson, and he is breaking down like what his 3 favorite things are, which is Kylie Minogue, and they look over to Michael Keaton again, and he's like, and he goes, dimples above a woman's buttocks, which Will Ferrell's like excellent features, by the way, and he's like the fear in the eye before he kills a man, which he's talking to Mark Wahlberg. But it's just those little things like that where characters are chiming in. Or Eva Mendes, who's in this movie, and she has certain scenes where she's talking about something, she's explaining something, and it goes straight from like a normal conversation to straight south, and you're like, wait, we just took a really big left turn. Hold on, what? Like, for example, she's telling like Terry, who is Mark Wahlberg's character, that Alan, who is Will Ferrell, Alan is Eva Mendes' husband in this movie. And her name is Sheila. And she's explaining to Terry what their morning routine is. They wake up, she makes some strawberries. I've seen this movie so many times. She makes some strawberries, and then she says she shows them her breast. It's the most left turn. You're like, what? Wow, did you just say that? Or Alan and Sheila are having an issue, and Alan's like reverting back to his old days as he was a pimp. I know this movie gets crazy. You're like, what the heck, Ali? I'm gonna break everything down, trust me. And he yells at Sheila, and Sheila goes, wow, you have to go. Like, super calmly, and then she goes, get out! get out. It's just like, wait, where the sharp turn come from? This movie is goofy on so many different levels. It's hilarious. It's a pure comedy. It's a comedy movie, and I think it's one of my favorite comedy movies that's out there. It is hilarious to watch, and it's so quotable, so quotable. I probably seen this movie at least a good 100 times, and every time I watch it, I enjoy it every single time. So, what is the story of this movie? Just think about how this movie plays out. So, Terry, who is Mark Wahlberg, and Alan, they are paired together. They're both desk job officers. Now, Alan got the job because he was a pimp in college, and he got into a really bad place, and he decided to become an accountant for the police department. Terry got this job because he shot Derek Jeter, which is also hilarious because Terry is sitting in the hallway, and Derek Jeter's walking into the hallway, but he doesn't hear him because his headphone, and for some reason Terry decides to shoot Derek Jeter. He said Derek Jeter had a weapon, which he had his bat in his hand, had his weapon, so he decided to shoot him in the knee. Derek Jeter falls down, and Terry goes, "What is wrong with you? I told you to stop." And Derek Jeter takes his headphones out. He goes, "Derek Jeter, you shot me." If he would just go off like, it's like you shot Derek Jeter. No wonder why you call the Yankee Clipper. So he goes, "He's a biracial angel." And I love this. One of the guys goes, "You should have shot A-Rod." Hilarious. But anyway, that's how Terry gets into the position. And they're working this desk job, and Terry wants to be like the superhero of the city. He wants to be the guy who is the hero of the city. Well, currently, The Rock, who plays Dancing, and he has Samuel Jackson, who plays Highsmith. They are like the town's best cops, but they're horrible at what they do, but they are celebrities. And when these guys are in this movie, they are hilarious. They play off each other. The jokes are hilarious. It's so over the top with these dudes. It's great. But they are kind of the main guys of the city. And when a case happens and they can't catch the bad guys, they decide to aim for the bushes and jump 20 stories off a building and plaque, complete. And when I first saw this, I was like, they're going to jump off and they'll keep rolling and keep running like they don't catch the bad guys. No, they just, okay, that's happening. And so from there, there's two open positions. So you have Martin, who's played by Rob Riggle, and Fozzie, who's played by Damian Wayans Jr. They decide to take the position over, and they try to compete with, they're like the antagonists to, not the main antagonists, but they're just like side antagonists to Terry and Alan. Anyway, they become the new cops, and they just do stupid stuff as well. Like I'm at the crime scene, LOL, and Martin goes, "That's a good tweet, good tweet." But they just do stupid stuff. They're not as good either. So while that's all going on in the office, Alan is trying to figure out this scaffolding issue. There's a scaffolding issue I'm trying to take care of, and the scaffolding tickets that one guy named David Ersham is not paying for, but he has all these buildings going up. Well, David Ersham, who played by Steve Corrigan, he is actually trying to cover his losses, so he pretty much in debt to a couple of millionaires and billionaires and investors. He's trying to find a way to cover it. So he's trying to get himself a sucker to pay him a bunch of money, to invest in him for a bunch of money so he can pay off all the people he owed to, which he was going to take out the police department. Like, he's going to the police department to get money from them, which is a complete twist at the end of the movie, which I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Complete twist at the end of the movie that I didn't mind, actually. I actually thought it was an interesting twist there. One of the officers at the police department who gets yelled at by everybody, I believe his name is Gary, who gets yelled at by everybody, kind of like a lowly character. He's the one who ended up pretty much becoming a sucker, about to pay Ershon all this money. Well, Alan and Terry figures this out, but as they're trying to figure out this case, they're constantly getting run into roadblocks. Mock, who is the captain of the police department, he keeps stopping them no matter what, and anytime Terry and Alan goes to him with something, he completely refuses them, not trying to, blocks them off. I'm like, nope, not telling you guys anything, they probably should leave this case alone. Michael Keaton's hilarious, by the way, and he also works at Bed Bath & Beyond for some reason. And his demeanor as the Bed Bath & Beyond manager and his demeanor as the captain of the police department is completely two different things. But at the end of the movie, he's still working, but he works at Bed Bath & Beyond, but he's also helped crack the case with everybody. And he still has like this really cheesy like look on his face. And there's a scene where Terry gets shot, or Alan gets shot, and he's about to pass out. And Keaton's character, Mark, goes, "Oh my God, somebody help, help, he's dying." And look on his face and just the hilariousness of it. This movie's great. Everybody in this movie did a great job. This movie's hilarious. But anyway, so they get into roadblocks. Not only keep running into roadblocks, they also ran into a team that David Ersham a mercenary team that David Ersham has watching over him to make sure that he gets the deal done, who Ray Stevenson character, who is Roger Wesley, he's the head of this, and he is pretty much keeping his eye on everything. And he is like, no bull crap, I'm taking you guys out. If you get my way, you're going down. And this guy is like pretty much a straightforward villain character, and he has a few quips here and there. For example, there's a scene where they're trying to escape, Will Ferrell character and Mark Wahlberg character trying to escape, and Mark Wahlberg asks Will Ferrell, like, how do you learn it? Like, how do you know how to drive like this? And he's like, I play Grand Theft Auto. And then Ray Stevenson's sitting in his car as he watches Will Ferrell like flip a couple of cars and everything, and he goes, like, somebody been playing Grand Theft Auto. And just little things like that I don't know, the writers and the script of this movie is great. The script is perfect, and the direction, the camera angles and stuff like that is great as well. Like, I can't express the reactions to things that people do in this movie that I'm not sure they're legit, or they're just like, all right, act like this and you'll be shocked. But no, it's like legit. Like, the character's like, did he just say that? Really? Okay. Like, they didn't tell the other actors that script was going to be in the movie, so when they first heard it, they were just kind of like, oh, what? But anyway, so Terry and Alan finally get through all the roadblocks, figure out who David Ersham's working with, crack the case, and pretty much become the next guys in charge. They're the next dudes in charge. Now, there's a bunch of running gags in this movie, like Alan is really like attracted to a bunch of hot women. So when hot women see him, they just flock to him. And Terry can't seem to figure this out, like Brooke Shields, Eva Mendes, a bunch of other people in this movie who are like, oh man, he's super hot, and they keep flocking to him. And Terry's like, how you keep getting all these hot women? What's going on here? There's a bunch of other stuff that goes on in this movie that I can't really explain. You have to watch it to really understand it, because it's just hilarious and it's such a fun movie. It's a fun movie to watch, and I freaking love it. Now, some downfalls of this movie. They don't really use that much CGI, but when they do, you're like, CGI, okay, whatever. I can get super nitpicky and like stuff that happens to character that makes no sense, but they somehow survive, stuff like this. But one thing I will say, after The Rock and Samuel Jackson dies off, like in the movie, the jokes and everything kind of die down for a moment. Like everything, the movie kind of, it shifts in tone. It's not as goofy and over top like in the first, I don't know, probably 20-30 minutes of the movie. It's super over top, super goofy. Even Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell jokes a little more high energy. Even like the whole Derek Jeter scene, and then when The Rock and Samuel Jackson jump off and pretty much kill himself, the movie tone kind of switch, and it goes a little bit from as goofy over the top to more, it's still goofy and still jokes, but more like kind of like not slapstick, but more like bantering comedy off of each other, bantering off of each other. Like the stuff is not as over top, like people doing things to each other. It's more banter and kind of quips back and forth. And then you do have the action scenes towards the end. So this is a buddy comedy, action comedy movie, and I enjoy this. I enjoy this movie. Now let's get to characters. I'm bringing my computer over here because there's a bunch of characters in this movie. It is ridiculous. So I think the acting in the movie is great. Super hilarious. I enjoy everyone in this movie. Will Ferrell as Alan Gamble, he's great. They're great. His banter with Mark Wahlberg character Terry Holtz is great. Like, they both are great. They're both a good combo. I enjoy them both in this movie. They play off each other really well. It's hilarious. And I'm not sure, I think this is the first time they worked together on a big screen. I could be wrong, but it's the first time I realized they worked together before Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2. I kind of wish they did another movie with the other guys, but also at the same time, I don't wish they did another movie with the other guys. I think the other guys is perfect as it is, and yeah, it's goofy and hilarious. Eva Mendes, who's Sheila Gamble, she, at certain points, like, because this is a comedy movie, and it's not a bad comedy movie, but at certain points I was like, I don't know, she doesn't seem like, her tone was weird. Like, the certain shifts she did, for example, when she's like talking about her morning routine with Alan, and a complete shift there, or she talking about like, wait a minute, oh my gosh, you have to go, get out, Alan. Like, those kind of shifts is a little, I don't know, a little odd. And she's pretty much here to be a hot wife. That's what she is. She is the hot character, but she was okay. She was okay. I wouldn't say she was super great, but she was okay. Ray Stevenson as Roger Wesley. He was good for what he was. Like, I enjoyed him. Samuel L. Jackson as P.K. Highsmith. Samuel L. Jackson's great. And also The Rock as Dancing, great. Dwayne Johnson as Dancing, great. They was hilarious. Bobby Cannavale as Jimmy. He's actually an Ant-Man. He's in this movie for the scenes he was in. He was hilarious. Rob Riggle as Martin was hilarious. Damian Wayans Jr. as Fosse was hilarious. So those three dudes was great. Michael Keaton as Captain Gene Mock. He was great too, and he just cracked me up. He kept doing TLC references, and they kept calling him out on it. And he's like, I don't know what you guys talking about. And there's actually a funny part of this movie where he tells Terry and Alan that, like, he's like, I'm not trying to be corny, but maybe you guys are the hero the city needs. And I was like, this is a movie that knows is a comedy movie. This is a movie that's not taking itself too seriously. They completely understand that stuff is going on, and it's hilarious that the writers wrote that in there for him. Or maybe it was even ad-lib. I don't know. But I like the fact that he mentioned, like, hey, not trying to be too corny in a movie that has a bunch of corny jokes and everything. But, like, maybe you guys are the heroes the city needs. And on top of that, like, it's great. It's great. But yeah, that's all the characters I want to talk about. And other thoughts before I go into, grading. The music in this movie is great. I enjoy the music. Oh, Ice-T is the narrator of this movie, so that's a familiar voice you'll hear. But the music, it works for what this movie is. The banter, the tone, when a movie needs to get serious, it was serious. When a movie needs to get like goofy and everything, it got goofy. They did do some of the movie tropes with, like, the partners go through the issues and they are now separated and they're no longer together as a team, and then they come back as a team, and that's like a complete good 5 minutes of the movie where they, like, separate and then they go back. They're down in luck to get the whole hero trope there, or the two guys that nobody believes, but they're actually trying to figure out something. Like, there's a bunch of tropes in this movie, so it's not anything original, but, like, at the same time, it's like a, yeah, I'll say that. I'm gonna take a moment to say, like, the main part is a little original, because I didn't see that in movies. Like, you don't really see business corruption movies that often, especially in a comedy movie. But at the same time, like, it's two guys who are the unlikely team who pairs up together. They try to find a case that nobody believes, and they end up becoming the underdogs and go rogue. They also get let go of the case, get let go of the job for a moment, and they come back. So, like, you get the same movie tropes. The movie dies down after The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson dies. It takes a complete low for a moment, and so it goes from here to here and then just stays there. And, like, it doesn't die, like, you don't get bored watching the movie, but the low is there. It's not as high energy as it was in the beginning of the movie. And the joke's a little more different, a little different tone. So I will say that. Is this a Friday movie? Sure. Watch it on Friday night with friends and family. I think you guys will enjoy it. Maybe not with kids. Watch it with, like, people like teenagers and older. So, but I think you guys will enjoy this movie. Grading time. I'm going to grade The Other Guys a B-. And the reason why I give this movie a B- is because the acting in it, everybody did great with the acting, besides a few characters here and there who just did okay, but it wasn't like super bad or took you out of the movie. Also, you have a few things such as the low. After dancing Heisman kill themselves. I keep saying they kill themselves, they jump off. And there's a low there, and then the jokes kind of shifts and the tone shifts. It's the same tropes you see in other movies. It's an unlikely buddy team-up movie, buddy cop team-up movie, but yeah, it's a fun movie to watch. Side note, before I let you guys go, there's a character in this movie who's on Ray Stevenson's team who looks like Samuel L. Jackson from the movie Pulp Fiction. And I'm not sure that's on purpose or not, but I just thought it was hilarious. Anyway, B- this is what this movie gets. If you guys and the other guys, what do you guys think? Please put in the comment section. I haven't said guys so many times in that one sentence. What do you guys think? Please let me know. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.